Okay, so today is Sunday, and I was in the process of meditating and scrolling and doing like a bunch of things at once, and I just got a message to do like a heavy. Well, not, it's not really heavy. I just got a message to tune in. I don't know how I want to say that. So pretty much, we're going to be talking about spiritual warfare today. Because I have lots of experience when it comes to spell work and, you know, people's games and manipulations. And I just wanted to speak on that because I feel like collectively, that is what a lot of people are dealing with now, because I feel I've been able to like, you know, help people out when it comes to certain things, and I feel like the reason I'm able to help them out is because I've gone through it. So I'm kind of out of that season, and I'm in a more like grounded place, not really dealing with it, but I'm still like cleaning up the remnants of, you know, the war and before. So I would say that, you know, I am very victorious in these sorts of matters. And then, I think I have another stalwart deck that I don't really like as much. I may get that one out too. Okay, this one is, I can't remember. I think it's Raven something. It's a sort of spell work deck. So let's see what we have for the collective. Night Watch. Actually, we're gonna pull one of those numbers. What's going on when it comes to spiritual warfare for the collective? Let's get 6 cards. Mistakes teach us. Night Watch. Needs before wants. I feel like some of you could be spread your wings. Some of you could be Times Arrow. An insomniac. Not an insomnia, because like have insomnia. Family matters. Yeah, you could be. Yep. Okay. Could be dealing with some sort of family issues. Could be not getting much sleep or sleeping too much. But I feel like see for me, I slept. Where one person. I think what helped me is that I slept. I slept through my warfare, honestly. I slept through it. You can do more in the astral plane than you can sometimes in the physical plane. So I slept. I found ways to sleep. Honestly, a lot of my bad habits at the time, you would think that those things would keep you up and, you know, cause you from getting sleep, but no, I slept. So I was heavily guided and protected during those times of warfare, I will say. But I do feel like that could be a symptom for some people who are experiencing some sort of spiritual warfare right now. Also, we're gonna tap into and talk a little bit about the spell work that's happening, because there are some people, a lot of people like to call them witches and warlocks. Now, witches and warlocks do not look like what you think they look like, although they do have some characteristics of, you know, the portrayed witches and warlocks. You may see some characteristics, but honestly, most of the time they seem like the most innocent people who literally wouldn't, the people who like are even in the church, you know? Y'all have no clue. It's a complete contradiction. So I was also having this, I got this message yesterday, this download yesterday from Spirit. And a part of the message was that because we've evolved spiritually and as a consciousness, it's like a mass evolution of human consciousness, right? And because of that evolution, understand that not just the light evolves, the dark evolves as well. And I don't mean like yin yang, like dark balance sort of thing. I mean like, you know, if you want to call it out for what it is, you know, any sort of evil or whatever that you feel like you may be dealing with, witchcraft, that evolves as well. So the whole desensitizing process that they say happens in the media, it's literally to make it so common. I'm still dealing with the room. And anyway, it throws it out there in your face so that you become they want to look as normal to you as possible. They want it, they want it to be a common thing so that you don't think about it. And that's usually what happens. It looks so much like the people in our day-to-day. It's such a common occurrence to see people looking a certain way or doing certain things, engaging in certain rituals, that you don't even think about it when it's like, when you invite the devil to sleep with you, when it's like right on your doorstep. You don't think about it. And not only do you not think about it, you start to question yourself, like, no, that can't be right. So honestly, as I was stating, as we evolve as a consciousness, you have to understand that entity evolves as well. It evolves. So it doesn't look like what it used to look like back in the day. Back in the day, they threw what they called witch hunts and witch trials. Now, I don't know if I completely believe in that, because there is light and dark, and if you're like crucifying the good, which is like, I don't consider myself a witch, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't, but I will use the term. It's like when they say a term of endearment, I will use the term because of that, because that's like one of the best ways you can describe me and my abilities, and most people would think that anyway. So I will, every now and then I'll just like use the term, but I use all sorts of terms. So I try to shy away from that one, simply because, I don't want people to think it's like that sort of thing over here, because it's not. So, with great power comes great responsibility, and I use my power very responsibly. Yeah, so we have the Four of Swords, we have the Death card coming out. There's definitely some sort of mental warfare going on right now with the collective that I'm channeling. There's some sort of mental warfare that's causing this depression. Five of Coins. I feel like it's causing, I should probably not show that. It's causing stagnancy. Is that how you say the plural of that? Yeah, it's causing you to become stagnant. It's blocking your money. There could be like money blocking rituals. I have so much to share about warfare, like so much to share, but I'm gonna slowly like just spill over the course of time. So let me first say that it's not what people think it is all the time, since it has evolved. Let me just say it is absolutely not what people think it is. Back in the day, like I said before, humans have evolved to the place that we are now, and despite what people think, humans are getting smarter, but before that it looked like blatant evil, because that's how it showed up. But now that evil is so, it's everywhere. It's all over the place, and we see it all the time, so it doesn't affect us anymore. It doesn't, it's like, oh, boogeyman. Hey, but you see the boogeyman every day for Halloween. So, freaking fruit flies. Anyway, like I said, it's because of that, and because of the evolution. It no longer has to be super big and mean and scary to, it's learned how to adapt and how to slowly snake its way into our lives, and cause us to question our sanity. Slowly weakens you over time. Slowly weakens you with the Strength card that came out in reverse. I don't usually read reversals, but I understand when it comes in reverse. As I stated, the Five of Coins represents You know, lack of finances or feeling lack. You feel it in the physical realm, like you feel it. Nine of Swords. It's a very depressing energy. Usually it shows with, let's see if I have another deck. It shows a picture of someone, oh, here it is, in a bed, depressed. This one in this deck is the Nine of Winter. So the winter, you know, it's like harsh, so represents swords. Let's slow this down. We're just gonna read this. Unfounded fear, focusing on the worst case scenarios, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. So Nine of Swords, that's kind of what energy, you know, this warfare has you in. Warfare looks different to everybody. And as I stated, when I was going through it, I was aware the entire time. I was aware the entire time what was happening. I still found a way to keep my peace, though. I literally prayed my way out of my warfare. I was like the most optimistic, sleepy little bird that ever existed. Like, I got through that with flying colors, I'd say, for myself. You know, I didn't eat much. I really didn't. My eating was like, you know, maybe once a day. Sometimes I wouldn't eat unless I was fed. Just being honest, I literally just didn't have the energy to do anything other than what I needed to do for my child. But so I knew what was going on. I knew exactly what was going on, but I didn't lose weight. You know, it was like I didn't lose weight. My hair started to shed a bit, and that was like the final sign for me that I knew I was like super stressed out, because I'm gonna be honest, like it wasn't showing up in my physical reality the way that I thought stress would. But I slept all the time. I called it hibernation now. I was in hibernation, so I slept like literally all the time, had no energy. So a lot of people say you can fight through it, and most of the time I did try to fight through it, but I'm gonna be honest, that was a heavy load to carry. It was super heavy spiritually, so that is why, you know, not everybody can. Anyway. Also, okay, we're not going to get into that. We'll get into other signs later, but yeah. I've been dealing with like fruit flies, right? Not for long, but honestly, those things like multiply like rabbits. And that is, if you look it up, that is also a sign. That's a huge sign of some sort of warfare. And I experienced it like for the first time. This is like the second time at this, you know, this magnitude. But I experienced it with my last, I don't want to say my last relationship. We're just going to just say that. But yeah, I experienced it then. And that's when I started to notice like the patterns. So they say in spirituality or you know, warfare, that is like considered a monitoring spirit. So usually those things are like around to keep eyes on you and monitor you. So back to what I was saying about me actually calling the warfare, you know, speaking, you know, just remaining in my power throughout. Like, I wasn't really affected by it. I still hung around people that I had suspicions of. And I feel like it was just my way of conquering them, because, you know, you're walking through the valley of death, but you fear no evil. Like, I literally wasn't, you know, I'll give you a hug, I'll be as happy as I want to be, I'll be filled with the light and around you, and, you know, I'll pray for you because you probably need it, things like that. Like, it didn't get to me, but it was very draining for a while, very draining. Anyway, so the way that you get through this, or one of the ways, is by just calling it out. You know, most of the time you sound a little crazy calling it out, because you even start to question yourself, or you even start to think like, that's not going on. It's definitely going on. Like, you're not crazy. It's going on. It's happening. and you have to call it out. Like once you know that there's been some sort of spell work done, for me personally, I will say that there was a death spell. There was a sleeping spell. Look that up, guys. I mean, I'm telling you, there are all sorts of things. There was a sleeping spell, death spells. I had plants in the house that would not thrive. And I'm kind of like 50-50, especially if I'm like going through like a little minor depression when it comes to my plants. But if my plants don't grow in the house, there's heavy energy going on. I mean, it's like plants tell you everything. Like if you can't keep a plant alive, yeah, it tells you everything. The sunlight not like, you know, it's anyway. So that, and I was also around a person who had a lot of random deaths around them, like unexplainable things. But anyway, you know, like I said, everybody will have their own, signs, but most people think they're too crazy or they're too far-fetched, you know, to even like speak on them. I will recommend that you always speak on them, always, like to the person that you're accusing. You have to, like, you know, what they call rebuke that energy. You have to speak on it. You have to bring awareness. You have to bring light to the energy in order to transmute it. That's the only way. And eventually you will flee, or they will flee. You will be removed, because, you know, you being in denial is literally a part of their manipulation. You questioning yourself is a part of their manipulation. That warfare, like I said, it's evolved, so it comes in different forms nowadays, and most of the time it's through manipulation. So I started to call, not just relationship wise, but friendship wise, even family, whatever, but mainly relationship and friendship wise. I started to call people out for what it was. And it was something that I've been in denial for years. Like manipulation, you manipulating someone and not telling them the full truth, that's warfare. That's witchcraft. That's the worst kind of witchcraft. And you can be in denial, but that is why there was this saying, you know, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Because if you grew up thinking that was okay, you know, you were a child, you behaved as a child. But once you get older and you start figuring out that you can manipulate people and you can, you know, get your way by using these manipulative tactics, then you are a part of some greater evil that you are not, you know. And if you don't want to be a part of it, then when you get called out on it, you know, you should make your amends, you know. You should do better. But if you continue to do the same manipulative things, if you continue to lie to people, you know, to keep people around you because you don't want them to go, or because, you know, you want your cake and you want to eat it too, those are people that are not meant for you. And you are painting a picture for them. You're manipulating their reality because of your selfish, you know, wants and desires. And that is witchcraft. And that is one of the worst types of witchcraft right now. You are manipulating someone's reality. You're playing on their feelings. You're playing on their wants. You're trying to convince them that what they're picking up on is real, when in reality. So anyway, just saying that manipulation is warfare. It is part of witchcraft. And most people will not admit to their manipulation. Most people have lied to themselves because they've done it for so long. But once you get called out on it and, you know, you don't choose to change, then, you know, you're no longer a child. So if you can't be corrected as an adult, then you are, you know, a part of that entity that needs to be, you know, released. Anyway, Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. I just needed to ramble, and we're probably going to ramble a lot more because I think I will get more out. I've been trying to shorten my tarot videos down, but I think it kind of cuts the message that I need to get out. Anyway, as I stated, Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. Seven of Coins. Yeah, I feel like feel like, how do I want to say that? You're waiting for, I'm going to say you're waiting for your tower moment. Now, a tower moment is when something abruptly ends, or the universe ends it, or, you know, it's like the grand finale. You don't really have to do much because you've done everything at every step. Like, you know, if somebody lied to you, you argued with, or, you know, you told them that that's a lie. If somebody treated you this way, you stood up for yourself, and that caused y'all to go to this next stage. Somebody ignored you for days, you let them ignore you, and then, you know, that caused them to speak up. So it's like there's steps to an ending, or to an ending, because we have the Wheel of Fortune. So, you know, obviously your fortune is shifting, but there are steps to that. And then the grand finale step is what I would consider the tower moment, right? So I feel like you're kind of waiting with the what is that, hourglass? With the hourglass, yeah, with the hourglass. You're waiting for something to happen, to shift. You're waiting for the tower moment, waiting for that grand finale. I do feel like, here you go, with my little oracle deck, mistakes teach us. Mistakes teach us. I believe that this has helped you, or whomever's going through this warfare, to gain wisdom. I think wisdom that you didn't have before as a child, or yeah, like let's just say as a child, because, you know, when you're a child, you behave as a child. So I think it's taught you wisdom, and the sorts of things that you want in your life, the sorts of things to avoid. As I stated, with the Night Watch card and with the Nine of Swords, I do feel like there's been some sort of insomnia or lack of sleep. I don't know if it's because you're sacrificing something. So this is needs before want. I don't know if you're sacrificing something for yourself. This is family matters, or for your family. You could be sacrificing something, and maybe, you know, that's pulling more on your energy. So maybe you stay up because you want more time for yourself. You want more time to be alone, or to have your creative space. And maybe the only time you can get it is like in the wee hours of the night. Yeah, but with time zero. Oops, I don't want to burn that. I'm gonna keep that there because I'm not bending down right now. I didn't put on shorts this morning. Anyway. Wait, what time? No, I can't look at the time right now. I think we're gonna wrap this up. As I stated, I just wanted to do like a little quick spiritual warfare. I'm gonna probably do more than one because I have a lot more to say, a lot more that I've been guided to communicate. Ebb and flow and release. Yeah, I think this represents the Tower card. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to get on and have a little talk about the warfare that was going on right now, that I feel like I've been picking up on for the consciousness. There have been lots of, every reading that I've been doing has been somewhat similar, and I do believe like people are having a lot of endings coming into their life. They're learning what they need to learn in order to transcend to the next level of consciousness. They're having like major endings and everything, and honestly those endings are very they're tough. They put you in this energy and you may not know what's going on. Like, as I said, 5 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, 9 of Swords. This is like a more meditative, sleepy energy. This one is the more depressed sleep, but it's still the same thing. It's very a heavy mental load, But yeah, I do feel like with the Death card and the Wheel of Fortune, that is coming to an end soon. I wish I could say when. Yeah, the World and the Ace of Coins. Just as I was about to shuffle the deck, there will be some sort of, rainbow that you see. There's some sort of rainbow coming in. There's the World, meaning, job well done for the most part. Completion of a cycle, going on to the next. But yeah, I do feel like there's a lot more to be uncovered as far as spiritual warfare goes. There's a lot more, and there could be a lot more coming. I will say for me, I do things, I'm the type of person that I like it to pour when it rains, Some people like a little bit at a time. They can only deal with like a little sprinkle at a time. But me, I go through it all at once. It's heavy as fuck, but I go through it all at one time. And I get it out of the way. Not everybody wants that, because that's a lot. But that's why I say there could be more to uncover. It just depends on how far along your healing journey is. But I do want to get back on here and speak more about a different sort of warfare that I'm channeling. But yeah, that's all I have for today.